love to welcome to join us right here, Raul Reyes from Life Equip Global. And we want to celebrate him as he comes on up. Please give him a good hand of applause as he comes on up. And we're going to be hearing, and thank you for being part of our partners.
You're welcome. Good evening, Africa. I am Raul Reyes Ocasio Jr., Díaz Rivera Melendez de San Juan. Greetings from Puerto Rico. And I have a confession. I can dance like a winner. I can dance. What a privilege it is to be here with you, God's shepherds and spiritual generals at the Africa Missions Conference. This is not just another gathering. This is a holy moment. I believe with all my heart that God has brought us here not just to attend the conference, but to awaken and launch a movement. Let's begin with a simple but urgent question. What is missions? Missions is not an event. It's not a department in the church. It's not just about crossing borders. Missions is the heartbeat of God. It is the Great Commission. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. It is also the great commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your might, and love your neighbor as yourself. Missions is not something the church does. Missions is what the church is. We exist to bring the message of Jesus, a message of life, to the lost, to the hurting, to the dying, and to the most vulnerable. Friends, for centuries, Africa was called the mission field. Western missionaries came here to sow the seeds of the gospel, but today, something is shifting. God is calling Africa to rise from a mission field to become a mission force. You are no longer just the recipients of the gospel, you are the carriers of the gospel. With about 740 million Christians, Africa has the largest Christian church on earth. By 2060, more than 40% of all Christians on earth will be African. By 2100, there will be over 1.3 billion Christians in Africa. But God's not looking for numbers. He's looking for fire. A fire that burns with the love for Jesus. A fire that burns with passion for souls. And a fire that burns with compassion for the most vulnerable. Africa, you are not God's backup plan. You are God's frontline army. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Let me now speak a truth that is foundational to all missions. Everything starts with life. There is no mission field if there are no people. There are no disciples without babies. There is no church if there are no children to grow into followers of Christ. That's why Satan has always attacked life from the beginning. He used Pharaoh to kill Hebrew baby boys. He used Herod to kill Bethlehem's children. And today he's using abortion to destroy millions, especially here in Africa. Let me be clear. Satan has been targeting Africa for generations. Through colonialism and slavery, he tried to devalue your worth. Through poverty and war, he tried to steal your future. Through sexual sin and corruption, he is trying to defile your calling. But now, he's using a new weapon, the mass slaughter of preborn African children. Abortion is the biggest killer of innocent children that has ever occurred in the history of mankind. The most innocent, most vulnerable, and least protected people group on earth and on this continent are the poor. Not the poor, not the elderly, or even the orphans. They are preborn African baby boys and baby girls. And Satan is using my country, the United States, to export this death. through money, through media, through political pressure. American dollars are funding African abortions. American voices are trying to silence African values, and American organizations are targeting African wombs. This isn't charity. This isn't health care. This is physical and spiritual genocide. Let's talk about the African abortion genocide. More than 73 million innocent babies are killed every year. 8 million babies are killed here by abortion in Africa every year. So let that sink in. 8 million African baby boys and baby girls. That's more than the entire population of countries like Togo or Sierra Leone wiped out every single year. That's more than all the missionaries Africa has ever sent, multiplied by thousands, killed in silence. Satan is trying to cut off your future before it can be born. Satan fears the power of the African church, so he is trying to stop the next generation from ever taking their first breath. But I have good news. There's only one institution on earth that can stop this genocide, and it is the church. Not governments, not the United Nations, not foreign aid. Only the Church of Jesus Christ has the power to confront this darkness. Only the church carries the gospel of life. Only the church can disciple fathers, raise up mothers, create and transform families, and defend babies. Fighting the African abortion genocide is not a distraction from the Great Commission. It is a vital expression of it. Missions begins with life. We cannot make disciples of nations if those nations are being destroyed from within, one unborn life at a time. Every woman or man considering abortion presents a powerful missions opportunity, an open door to speak not only about the value of the life in the womb, but about the giver of life himself, Jesus Christ. When the church rises to meet women in crisis pregnancies with compassion, truth, and hope, it is preaching the gospel not just in word, but in action. The church must also take the lead in teaching biblical sexuality to the next generation. And I've heard so often that, talking about sex is taboo. Friends, if we don't talk about sex, Satan is. If we don't protect our children, he is corrupting our children. We need to train boys and girls in the home, in the church, and even in the schools. This kind of discipleship is a mission field that's ripe for harvest as young people learn God's design for marriage, sex, and family. Their hearts then become more open to understanding his greater design for their lives and their need for a relationship with him through Jesus Christ. The call to missions in Africa must include the call to defend life. Disciple families and declare the gospel in the face of Satan's assault on the womb. This is the new frontier of missions, and it is time for Africa to lead. Listen, I'm inviting you not just to join the revolution for life. I'm inviting you to lead it. In Proverbs 24:11, it says, rescue those being led away to death. Hold back those staggering towards slaughter. This isn't a suggestion. This is our divine assignment. This is our command. Africa, this is your hour. That's why I'm here, not just to speak, but to invite you to join and lead the revolution for life. God is calling pastors like you to rise up and lead this movement, to preach about life, to defend the unborn, to disciple fathers, to open your churches to mothers in crisis, to heal those damaged by abortion, to reach the next generation about God's design for marriage and sex, and to multiply life-affirming ministries and pregnancy centers across Africa. In my workshops, I will show you how that's going to be done. We'll talk about God's design for life, how to equip your church, how to launch a life ministry, and how to become part of a global movement that begins here in Africa. So I invite you, sign up for the workshops that I'll be teaching tomorrow. Stop by our table so myself or my pastor, my partner, Pastor Wally Hannington. Wally, are you around? Can you stand up and wave? He's back there wearing a black leather coat. I want to thank Raul Reyes for inviting me to come and join you this week. He tells me that this is the first time that a pro-life issue has been brought up and discussed in a missions conference, the first time in the continent of Africa. So thank you for allowing me to come and bring this message. Raul is also Life Equip Global's life coordinator. The ministry I lead is an international ministry called Life Equip Global that exists to equip the church with sanctity of human life training. And Raul leads that effort here in the continent of Africa. The book I have written is called The African Awakening. It speaks of God's incredible future for Africa. Let me give you a 30-second survey about what this is about. The population is collapsing in the world, and the population of Africa is exploding. The world is going to come to Africa saying, we need your people to come and work, and when African men and women go, they're going to bring the gospel of Jesus Christ and the message of life. All of you are going to receive this book for free. I brought enough copies for each and every one of you. Also, we'll be giving you a fetal model. This is what a little 12-week-old baby looks like. And we all want you to have this. This can help you to save lives. You put this in the hand of a young woman that's considering abortion, and it can save her life. We also have a beautiful pin. This pin that I'm wearing is the footprints of a 10-week-old baby. And we want each and every one of you to have that as well. Many are called, but you have been chosen. Africa, this is your moment. This is your mission. This is your mantle. From a mission field to a mission force to a mission flame that will light the nations. God bless you.